Hi, it's Nihar again. And one of my clients approached me yesterday. He was asking a very simple question. I'll just give you a bit of context here. He was building his sales page where he wanted to sell his front end product. So let me just move my camera to the right here. Perfect. Now he was building a sales page where he wanted to sell his front end product, right? And he asked me a very simple question. And the funnel looked like this. He was selling this front end product, right? So he was running ads to this front end product and he was converting these people to one calls at the end. And on these one calls, he was selling his high ticket product, right? He was selling his high ticket product at the back end. So this was his sales funnel, basically, an overview of his sales funnel. So he had a very interesting question, and this is a question that might come into your mind when you're building or structuring your whole sales process. Let's say even if you're building your sales funnel, like whatever sales funnel it is, it might be a low ticket product funnel like this, or it could be a VSL funnel as well. So his question was, he definitely needs to collect payments for his front end product, right? But in order to collect payments, he needed to have a checkout form where people can put in their information and their bank details and they can then make the payment and purchase this front end product, right? So his basic question was, where should I have this checkout form? Now, some people have this checkout form on the same page, like here. Okay, they have all the details about the front end product, and on the same landing page, they have this checkout form as well, right? Where then and there, without going anywhere else on any other page, they can stay on the same page and they can put in their information and they can make the payment and get that front end product, right? Now, on the other hand, he also has an option to just include a button on this page. I'll just show you here. Just have a button on this page which maybe says pay now, right? And as soon as someone clicks on this button, they'll get redirected to a secondary page or a secondary checkout page, which will have the form again. Same thing. So the first option is people are making the payment then and there on the landing page. And the second option is people are just clicking on this button and then they are making the payment on the checkout page, right? So this was his basic confusion. He approached me and asked me, oh, Neha, what should I do? Um, Now, I'm going to be sharing something with you which is super important when it comes to making decisions like these, when it comes to deciding what steps to include in your sales funnel and how to structure it, all of that stuff, right? So, all you need to understand is everything starts with lead flow control. See, whenever you have a sales funnel, whenever you are looking to launch a sales funnel, or even if you're looking to optimize your sales process, everything comes down to what are your lead flow requirements, right? So there could be two scenarios here. Okay, so what do we mean by lead flow? It's very simple. Lead flow means how many leads are you getting consistently every single month? What's the quality of those leads? And do you need to increase the lead flow or decrease the lead flow, right? So there could be two scenarios when it comes to lead flow control. Maybe you're getting a lot of leads, right? That could be scenario number one. Scenario number two is you could be getting less number of leads, but now in this case, the quality could be high, right? And in this case, the quality could be low. These could be two scenarios, and you always have to decide accordingly, like what is your scenario, and you always need to find a balance between both of these extreme scenarios. Like you might be receiving a lot of leads but the quality might not be that good, or you might not be receiving a lot of leads but the quality is good. Okay, or there would be other scenarios as well where you're not getting any leads at all and the quality is also not good, right? So you have to understand your requirements. Okay, and you have to keep in mind whatever stage you are in your business. Let's say you are just starting out with an offer which is not proven, right? You have just launched an offer. So let's say it's a new offer, right? In this case, when the offer is new and you don't have any idea on whether people are even people would even accept this particular offer or not, or whether people would even buy this offer or not, in that case, all you need to do is you need as many leads as possible. Just a minute. Yeah. As many leads as possible, right? If your offer is not proven, then you need to test it as fast as possible. Keep it in front of as many people as possible so that you can prove it, right? As fast as possible. Simple. Now, there could be a stage in your business where you have an offer which is, let's say, you might be charging, let's say, 2K, okay, $2,000 for this particular offer, and you have got like around 20 clients till now. This could be a stage in your business, okay? Try to relate it with whatever numbers you have in your business. In this stage, you know that the offer is proven, right? So you don't need to deal with a volume of leads, okay? You don't need a lot of leads because, again, with the increasing number of leads in your sales pipeline, you're diluting your time, your time availability. You're basically selling your time, right? So if you know the offer is proven, you can decrease or you can afford to decrease the volume of leads. Okay, I'll just open up a new one here. You can afford to decrease the volume of leads in exchange for quality. Okay, this is in the second case where you have an offer which is proven. Clear? So these are just two examples that I gave you. According to this, you can understand what is your lead flow requirements. Okay, now let's go back to the document. It all starts with lead flow control. As I told you, it's an integral part of your funnel structure. So even before you decide what's your funnel and how should it look like, you have to understand what are your lead flow requirements. Then and only then you would be able to decide and solve all of these questions or problems. You can decide on what steps should you include in your funnel, what type of funnel you should run, how are you getting good quality leads, and how to get better quality leads. All of this, all of these problems get solved as soon as you start understanding it from the fundamental level, which is lead flow control. Now, as soon as you understand you have to control your lead flow according to your requirements, the only way to control the lead flow is to understand what funnel friction is, right? Now, try to understand funnel friction as the reins of a horse, basically like the ropes that are tied in, I think, horse's mouth or something, right? Which you use to control the direction of the horse, the pace of the horse, all of that stuff, right? So funnel friction is kind of your controller of your lead flow. Clear? So just to give you a simple example, let me hop back to the presentation here. Perfect. So basically what you need to understand is you have to control the lead flow using what we call as funnel friction. I'll just write down friction here, right? Now friction is nothing but all the steps that become a hurdle for your prospects or your traffic, basically, right? So this might be your sales funnel, okay? And at the end of the sales funnel, you are getting them on a one-to-one call. Simple. So what friction is, let's say we're getting 100 people here on the landing page. Out of this, we are getting, let's say, 30 people on the second step. Out of 30 people, we're getting, let's say, around 5 people, or let's say 15 people, I'm assuming, on the third step. And then out of 15, we're getting like around 5 calls. So what you need to observe is, as we move through every single step, we have certain percentage of people who are dropping off. Let's say 60% or 70%, whatever, right? and here we have lost like 50%, right? So this is the conversion loss, and this happens because there is friction in your funnel. What is friction? The number of steps that you're adding. You're increasing the friction on your funnel. Simple. It might be a little tricky to understand at first, but it's a simple concept. People have to push through the whole sales process. So if you have very high funnel friction, then people need more commitment through to go through all these steps in your sales funnel, right? So as you increase the funnel friction, the quality of these leads increase, right? So if you increase the friction, the quality increases, right? But the volume decreases. Okay. So as you increase the friction in your funnel, the quality of the leads increase, but the volume of the leads decrease. This is all about leads. So everything is about leads. How many leads do we get? All of that stuff, right? If we decrease the friction, if we decrease the friction, then the quality suffers, of course. The quality decreases. Simple, because now people don't need that much commitment to go through the whole sales funnel and book a one-to-one call with you, right? So the quality of those leads decrease, but the volume increases. Now this is a classic case where you have an unproved, like you have an offer which is not proven, and you just need as many leads as possible. In that case, you have to decrease the funnel friction. Simple. So this is how you need to understand what funnel friction is. And funnel friction increases with the number of steps that you add. And we're going to discuss about that in detail right now. So we understood what is funnel friction, and these are all the types of funnel frictions that exist in a sales process or a sales funnel, right? There could be more as well, but these are the basic ones that you need to understand. So first is funnel steps. So the number of steps that you add in a funnel, right? So let me just take you through the website. Okay, and this was my client's question that I initially shared with you. So his question was, as you can see here, this is just example number one. As you can see here, this particular person is selling his ebook or this particular bundle here, and he's selling this on this landing page or on this sales page. Now here he has, on the right side, he has a checkout form, right? As soon as you click on step 2, and then people can make a payment then and there on this particular page. They don't go to any other page separately, right? Now this is option number 1. And second way you can do it is you can have this checkout form all together on a different page. So in this particular page, you can have just one button, and as soon as someone clicks on this button, you can get them on a separate checkout page, right? Where people can fill in their information. As you can see here, people can fill in their information, whatever they want, and they can make the checkout. They can fill in their card details, and they can make the checkout then and there on the second page. So this was a very small confusion that my client had, but and I definitely gave him the answer, but everything comes down to fundamentals, and you need to be able to understand this yourself. Okay, you need to be able to make all of these small decisions yourself. That's the whole goal, and that's why you need to understand the fundamentals. So let's go back to our document here, right? So funnel steps, right? So in the second option, as I told you, if you have a different checkout page altogether, then that's an additional step. That means the funnel friction increases, right? So funnel steps is one type of funnel friction. Second, payments. Okay. If you want someone to just put in their information on your landing page, then the friction is very less. But on the other hand, if you're asking people to pay you whatever amount that is, but if you're asking people to pay you before they would be able to move forward, then the funnel friction is extremely high. So payment is I would say it's the highest or the strongest form of funnel friction, right? Then forms, right? So whenever someone watches your VSL video and then you get them to book a call with you, but before they would be able to, before they are able to schedule their time slot, you ask them to go through a full form, a qualification form, right? The form that you ask these people to fill is a major friction point. Okay. And it's not about, oh, you should, whether you should use these friction points or not. It's about how to use it and when to use it and why to use it as well, right? So you need to understand how to control the funnel friction and in order to meet your lead flow requirements. Simple. The fourth form of funnel friction is videos. If you have made it mandatory for people to watch your videos on your landing page before they can move forward to the next step, then video is also a form of funnel friction. Then all the buttons that you have on your landing page. So these are basic types of funnel frictions that matter when you build your sales process, right? Now let's come back to the main question, the main doubt that my client had, and let's try to understand now why did we. So I'm going to be giving you the answer as well that I gave to my client as well, but we need to understand from basics now, right? So his question was, coming back to the same question, should he include a checkout form on the sales page itself, or should he have a different checkout page altogether, right? So the answer is, he should have a checkout page or a checkout form on the landing page or the sales page itself. Okay, he shouldn't, ideally he shouldn't have such a checkout page, a different checkout page, or an additional step in the funnel. Now why? As I told you earlier, as we were discussing about the types of funnel friction, I mentioned payment to be the highest or the strongest friction point. The strongest friction point, right? So if someone is paying you, that means they are committed to move forward. If someone is paying you even a single dollar from their pocket, and if someone is putting all their credit card details online and all that stuff, they are committed. So it's a very strong friction point. Payment is a very strong friction point, right? So at the end, if our motive is to qualify the leads or get the highest quality leads, we have to, and if you are using this like so strong friction point in our funnel, which is payment, so we have to balance it with other friction points that are in our funnel. We don't need unnecessary friction points, like we don't need more friction points in our funnel when we have already used the strongest friction point, right? Because if we have payment and then we have additional steps as well, in that case, after people pay or before even people pay, uh, traffic will start dropping off, and at the end there would be less and less people till the end of the funnel. I hope I was able to make that clear, right? So you have to understand how to balance the strong friction points with the weak friction points, right? So payment is the strongest friction point because now you're asking someone to pay you. Funnel steps could be a moderately strong friction point, right? Um, Forms can be a very strong friction point. Video can be a weak friction point, whatever, right? So coming back to the point here, we are already getting them to pay you on the landing page then and there. If there was a separate checkout page like this, half of the people who click on this button, they would just drop off before this checkout page loads. We don't want to lose those people because they have shown their intent to buy from you by clicking on the button. We don't want to lose them. Why are you unnecessarily losing your traffic just because you have a separate checkout page? You don't need to do that, right? So that's all I wanted you to understand. And I'm gonna be giving you a example of my own website as well. So let me just go to profit and scale. Perfect. Yeah. Now this is a website that I have been using since the last 1 year, 1.5 years. We are not running any ads to this particular website here. It's a normal direct appointment funnel. It's not even a proper VSL funnel. Okay, I'll just walk you through the whole structure and then I'll tell you what I'm doing here. So basically, it's a normal, typical landing page, a typical sales page. If you want to consider it, we have a address line, attention coaches, consultants. So if you don't know, we are helping experts and service providers to scale their businesses using a leveraged, lean, profitable business model, right? So we have a headline here, a sub headline, and then we have a VSL video. Now it's super important for you to understand, and it's like you might not have seen something like this earlier. You might have seen typically VSL funnels, they ask you to opt in before you can watch the video. In this case, the video is open to all. So whenever someone lands on this particular landing page, they can click.
Watch this short video.
and they can start going through the whole video without even opting in, right? And I'm going to share why I did that. So below this video, then there's a button to book a call, right? So as soon as I click here on this button, it takes the viewer to the separate checkout page. Now they're not able to book a call with me directly. We have already stopped that a while ago. People cannot book a call with me directly for free, so they have to go through this payment process, and I'm charging around 499 rupees, or let's say around $5, $6, right? So we're charging around $6 for this one-to-one call, because we have stopped selling our time now. We don't need a lot of leads. So that's our motive. That's what I want you to understand as well, right? The only reason we have another checkout form is that we need people to go through the video first, and only if they are interested, then and only then we want them to click on book a call. We don't want them to know before even watching a video that there's a checkout process for this. This is not a free one-to-one call, basically. We don't want them to know this, right? And the only reason we do not have an opt-in here, we are letting people watch this video for free, like directly. The only reason to that is because we are balancing it out by having a payment process or a payment stage in the funnel, right? So we want as many people to watch this video as possible. When you have an opt-in, just 30% people who come to this landing page, just 30% people opt in and watch the video. We don't want that. We want everybody to watch the video. Why? Because then we are qualifying them in the next stage, which is the checkout stage. This is how you need to think about the lead flow. Okay, this is how you need to understand what are your lead flow requirements, and do you need a lot of leads, or do you need the best quality leads, all of that stuff. If you need best quality leads, then you might need to use the payment friction point, right? So, and you can also, and this is not a necessity, just using, it's not like, oh, you're just using payment as your friction point, then you would get the best quality leads. No, it's not a necessity. You can again balance it out by stacking up the other moderately strong friction points. Let's say you can have multiple funnel steps, around 5 to 6 funnel steps. Okay, that means just the most committed people can reach to the last stage, right? This increases the quality of your leads. So I hope I'm not repeating the same thing again and again. I hope you understand. It's just for your better understanding. With that being said, one last note for all of you: do not be afraid of funnel friction, right? A lot of people think that, oh, if you increase the funnel friction, the volume will decrease. Of course, the volume will decrease, but quality will increase. So you have to understand your lead flow requirement. As I told you, do not be afraid of funnel friction, but rather use funnel friction to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. That's the best thing that you can do. Then understand, even if people are dropping off when you increase the funnel friction, even if people are dropping off in between, you can retarget them with, let's say, retargeting ads, or let's say you have got their data, you might have some opt-in or something on your landing page, so you can retarget them with email marketing and all of that stuff. So there are multiple ways to get the traffic back into your funnel. So do not be afraid to increase the funnel friction, right? Do all of your calculations properly before you launch your funnel, or you have so many steps, and then you can calculate, oh, at every step you can have, let's say in the first step you have 10% people who pass through that, then the second step you might have like 50% people pass through that. So make the calculations and understand, in order to get a single sale at the back, in the back end of your sales funnel, how much traffic do you need to pour in the front end. Clear? So make those calculations and then decide whether you should increase the friction points or decrease the friction points, or what type of friction points you need to use. And again, coming back to the same question that my client asked, whether you should have the checkout form on sales page or on a separate step. So all of these questions will be super simple to decide from. You know, super simple to solve, basically, right? The moment you start understanding the fundamentals that we just discussed. Apart from that, I have prepared a prompt for all of you. It's a small ChatGPT prompt. If you don't want to do any hard work, you can have ChatGPT decide the funnel structure according to your business stage. So as soon as you put this prompt into your ChatGPT, it'll ask you a few more questions, and then it will give you a step-by-step funnel roadmap. with considering all the friction points and everything. It'll do the hard work for you. All you need to do is just copy this prompt and paste it in ChatGPT, put your business information, and it will give you the best possible sales process for your specific business needs. You can find this prompt and this whole document. So I will be attaching this particular document below this video. You will find it in the description. And apart from that, hope you find it valuable, and I'll see you in the next one.